Bunsen burner is a great way of heating up substances in a controlled way, but it must be used with care. A handy way of remembering how to light a Bunsen burner safely is set a light. Let's see what this means. S is for safety, which always comes first. Make sure you're wearing a lab coat and safety glasses. Tie back long hair and clear your bench of anything that's flammable, meaning that it could catch on fire. E is for edge. Place the burner on a heat-proof mat a safe distance from the edge of the bench. T is for tube. Check that the rubber tube is free of cracks. Connect the tube firmly to the gas tap. Make sure the tap is in the off position. Remember, the off position makes an L shape. A is for air hole. The air hole is located at the bottom of the barrel, near the base. It can be opened or closed by turning a metal ring called the collar. This controls the amount of air and oxygen that mixes with the gas. The more oxygen, the hotter the flame. Always make sure that the air hole is closed before lighting the burner. Okay, you're ready to light the match and hold it above the barrel. Finally, you can turn on the gas. It's important to light the match first to avoid releasing dangerous gas into the air. You should always follow these 6 steps when lighting a Bunsen burner. Now you've successfully lit the Bunsen burner, you should begin with a bright yellow flame. This is called the safety flame because it's easy to see and isn't as hot as the full flame. To get a hotter flame, we need to mix in more air. To do this, turn the collar to open the air hole. You will now have a blue flame with a bright blue inner core. The hottest part of the blue flame is here, at the tip of the cone. There are 3 more safety rules for using the Bunsen burner while it's lit. If you need to move the burner, hold it by the base. Don't touch it any higher than the collar. Never leave a lit Bunsen burner unattended. And if anything goes wrong, turn off the gas tap immediately. Okay, so you've finished your experiment. Before turning off the Bunsen burner, close the air hole first to return to the safety flame. Now you can turn off the tap and blow out any small flame that remains. Disconnect the hose and leave the Bunsen burner to cool before packing it away.
Hi folks, in this video we're going to be taking a closer look at the Bunsen burner. It's the one piece of equipment that kids are keen to use when they start learning science in high school, and as a teacher it's something that we want them to learn to use safely. So here's the Bunsen burner sitting with its base on a heat-proof mat. This part is known as the chimney, this is the air hole, and this is the rubber tubing that connects the Bunsen burner to the gas tap. To light the Bunsen burner, we should first close the air hole completely. We can then turn on the gas tap, light a match and hold it at arm's length above the top of the Bunsen. You should also be standing up with long hair tied back and any flammable materials placed well out of the way. Now you'll see that when I open up the air hole, we get a very different flame. It changes from yellow to blue. Let's look at the 2 different types of flame in more detail then. So you can see that there are some pretty obvious differences as far as the colour and shape of the flame goes. With the air hole closed, the flame is yellow in colour, has an irregular shape and is a good bit higher. When the air hole is opened, the flame is far more regular in shape, with an outer cone, which is difficult to see here, and a triangular inner cone. For obvious reasons, we call this the blue flame. And what do the flames sound like? First off, this is the yellow flame. Pretty quiet then. Next up, the blue flame. This is why the blue flame is often referred to as the roaring blue flame. The next thing I'm going to do is to place a wire gauze into the flames to find out how hot they are. It doesn't take very long before the gauze in the blue flame is glowing red hot, so we can see that this is by far the hotter flame. You can open up the air hole by turning something called the collar, and this allows more oxygen to mix with the gas, which results in complete combustion of the gas, and therefore more heat. The yellow flame is sometimes called the safety flame, but this is only because it's easier to see. It's still very hot, so you still have to be very careful with it. Finally, I'm going to place a piece of white tile into both flames. When the air hole is closed, as it is with the yellow flame, the gas only mixes with the air at the top of the chimney, and there isn't enough oxygen for complete combustion to take place. Because of this, carbon soot is produced, and you can see this forming in the tile on the left. If you tried to heat a beaker of water on a tripod above a Bunsen burner on a yellow flame, you'd find that the beaker quickly turns black with soot as well. So hopefully this has given you a better understanding of how Bunsen burners work. If you're a pupil in school using the Bunsen, then remember to also follow any additional safety rules your teacher might have for lighting them and using them safely in the lab. Talking of safety, make sure to look out for my video on science safety rules, which is part of the same series. Until next time, see you later.
Hi everyone, I'm so excited to say that I'm with Amelia at Sampton Wood School and we're going to be bringing Science of Hazel to the lab, so we'll be showing you lots of practicals. Amelia is going to introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Emilia. I am a lab technician. I work in this school, Sampton Wood School in Cambridge. I am also STEM ambassador, which means I go in other schools to introduce science to the kids and we have a lot of fun together. I have also an Instagram page, emilia.science, and follow me to see all my experiments and videos.
Yeah, you should absolutely follow her.
Thank you.
That's awesome. In this video, Amelia and I are going to be testing for positive ions. So it's effectively flame tests which prove which metal you have. You hold the various samples in the Bunsen burner and dependent on the colour the flame turns, you can use that to identify which metal. So from an exam point of view, you might need to provide a method. And so your flame test method is to use a clean nichrome wire, which you're going to dip in hydrochloric acid to make sure it's doubly clean. Then you place the sample on the nichrome wire. And the crucial thing is that the Bunsen burner needs to be a roaring blue flame, and you can hear it roaring. However, because we're in a lab, there's actually a slightly easier way for us to do that. So don't worry that our method is slightly different. The colours will still be exactly the same as the ones you need to state. But try and list the method that I've just described.
There are several ways in which you can perform this. Usually I do it soaking the splint in a solution of ethanol for some hours, and then I dip the splint in the powder. So this one is copper chloride.
Here's our roaring blue flame. Wow! Oh my goodness! And that fantastic green-blue colour is due to the copper ions present. Gosh, that's amazing. I like that.
Second one, it's lithium chloride this time. And this is a wonderful colour. Look.
So with lithium, we can see this very characteristic crimson colour.
Third one is potassium chloride.
Potassium, this is burning with a beautiful lilac flame. Try and remember for me that when you have potassium in cold water, it produces a lilac flame, and when you burn potassium in a flame test, it also produces a lilac flame.
Third one is sodium chloride.
So regular table salt now. Yeah, we get a lovely orange-yellow flame here.
And last one is calcium chloride.
Calcium chloride burns with a brick red orange flame. And do make sure you land these colours nice and accurately, as well as that simple method I described at the beginning.